Hello my dear students, I hope you all have been doing well. Today we are going to discuss about protein functions, and this is my last lecture on this topic, and this is my lecture number 5. And now let's start. Actually, protein having diverse functions, and some are general and some are some specific functions. So protein may be act as an enzyme. And what are the enzyme help for the in the to catalyze the different reactions in our body, different biochemical reactions. All the biochemical reactions that takes place in our body, they takes place with the help of an enzyme, that are the proteins. And protein can perform as a structural function. For example, they provide us mechanical support. They provide mechanical support to the cell and the tissues, and our hair and skin. All these are our hair. These are made up of protein, and protein can perform as a carrier to transport different small molecule throughout our body. And protein can be performed as a motor function for the contraction of our muscles. And protein can store different molecule in itself, and then protein can transduce signal in our body, in our body cell. And protein can exhibit the function as receptor. And protein can also modulate our gene regulation. And protein can exhibit some important function. For example, some type of fishes are having a special type of a protein that can protect them, that can protect their blood to freeze at extreme low temperature. And some of the proteins are extremely sweet. For example, monolin is a form of type of protein that can be used as a sweetener. And then some proteins are having function to absorb a different wavelength of the light, so they excite in the different lights and appear as fluorescent protein. So now after this we would be studying in detail so how different type of function protein can perform. So one of the important type of protein in our body is the protein that is present in our blood. So these are three type of a protein that can present in our blood. One is albumin, one is globulin, and one is fibrinogen. All these three type of a protein perform different type of work. So albumin is one of the type of a protein that is having diverse function in our body. And actually albumin is a blood protein. And you have to be clear in your mind here in this stage that protein synthesized via the process of translation. So we have well discussed this thing in our previous lecture, that protein synthesized in our body cell via the process of translation. So what happened when protein synthesized via the process of translation? So there are different changes that can be takes place in protein amino acid or polypeptide chain amino acid after the translation have been completed. So all those modification that takes place in the amino acid of a polypeptide chain after it has been released from the ribosome. So all these modification we call as the post-translational modification. So what happened, why this post-translational modification are important? Because sometime the post-translational modification enhance the activity of protein, or sometime the post-translational modifications inhibit the protein activity. So and there are various type of post-translational modification, and where this post-translational modification takes place, and what are these post-translational modification. Actually what happened here, we can see this the 2D structure of the one of the blood protein, that is the albumin, and we are seeing here this protein is made up of, although amino acid cannot be visible here, but here one of the amino acid, that is cysteine, is indicating here. So you have clear in your mind that whenever we are having any protein, it will be made made up of via joining of different amino acid. So different protein has different proportion of different amino acid. Some type of protein is having highest percentage of cysteine amino acid, some are having highest percentage of for example proline amino acid. So protein would be having different activities on the basis of the proportion of the amino acid that are having. If a protein is having highest concentration of a hydrophilic amino acid, so it will behave like that. So the protein function would be correspond to that, to the presence of the particular type of amino acid. So for example, if are having a protein that is a blood protein, that is an albumin, and it is having one of the amino acid cysteine. So we are discussing here what are the post-translational modifications. So what is the post-translational modification and how it takes place in the protein. So what happened after the synthesis of the protein, when it released from the ribosome, what happened, different amino acids that are present in the protein polypeptide chain modify due to different chemical reaction, you can see. For example, we are having here cysteine amino acid that is present in this albumin. So what happened, this cysteine can be oxidized. Okay, so this cysteine can be oxidized, and what happened, how it can oxidize, if in the cell environment there are various free radicals are present. So what happened after the oxidation, what happened, when cysteine will oxidize, it will make a disulfide bond. So this is one of the post-translational modification, and due to the disulfide bond formation, what will happen, protein conformation will get changed, and then what happened, then protein biological activity will get changed. And then and what are other, there are various type of protein post-translational modification, means protein different amino acid. For example, one of the amino acid, that is tyrosine, can be phosphorylate. What is the phosphorylation? Addition of phosphate group in a substrate. So here if we are having a protein that is having tyrosine, so tyrosine is an amino acid, and it is having ability to add up a phosphate group in that. So the process, that is the phosphorylation, that is takes place after the synthesis of this protein, or removal of the protein, or release of the protein from the ribosome. So what we call as the phosphorylation is the post-translational modification. So this glycosylation is also one of the type of post-translational modification. And what happened in the glycosylation, glucose moiety would be add up within with the amino acid. So but you just have to keep in mind that after the synthesis of protein, when protein released from the ribosome, and then it can be modified after different chemical reaction. After oxidate, or what are these chemical reaction? These may be oxidation, this may be glycosylation, this may be addition of a methyl group, so we will say it's methylation, or it may be addition of a acetyl group, so we would say it is acetylation. So all these are the post-translational modification, that these all post-translational modification would would modify protein biological activity. So we were talking about the albumin. So albumin is a blood protein, and albumin exhibit diverse biological functions. So it can be act as antioxidant. It can be used to regulate your immune system. It can be it can be used to inhibit in your body. It can be used to inhibit the thrombotic thrombosis. It can inhibit clot formation, and it can be used to stabilize endothelial cells. So and it can be used to bind and transport. So albumin can act as antioxidant via reducing oxidative stress, via scavenging free radical. So all these are, I am explaining you only one, and all these functions are corresponding to the to this albumin. So how albumin can perform antithrombotic function. So it can interfere with thrombosis. So these are all the functions that your one of the protein that is present in your blood can perform. So now we will be talking about another blood protein, that is globulin. So this is the 2D structure of the globulin, and globulin means having different types. One of the type of globulin is transferrin that transport ion. So how protein transport ion? Protein different amino acid make the bonds with the different atoms, and then these atoms then carry with the protein. So one of the type of the beta globulin is hemopexin, and it binds with the free heme and then transport it. And one of the type of beta globulin is the lipoprotein, and it transport lipid, mainly LDL. So these were all the type of the protein, that is the globulin. And now we were talking about the one of the other blood protein, that is the fibrinogen. This is the 2D structure of the fibrinogen, and you can see that it is having alpha helix and the loop, one of the loop. So what fibrinogen means, what function fibrinogen perform in your blood? Actually fibrinogen help for blood clotting. So how it can help for blood clotting, we can see this. So how clot form? Actually in our blood there are different coagulation factors that are present in the inactive form. So first this coagulation factor get activated, and then they activate one of the protein, that is thrombin. So this thrombin is present in inactive form as prothrombin. So this coagulation factor convert prothrombin to thrombin, and then this thrombin convert fibrinogen into fibrin. And then what happened, this fibrin form the polymer with the platelets, and they make a clot. So this was the function, or these were the functions of the blood protein. Now many of the protein are exhibiting the function of enzymes. So what are actually enzymes? Enzymes are the enzymes are actually the proteins. There are different type of enzyme. We will be having a separate series of lectures on enzyme, but here you have to just keep in your mind what are enzyme. Actually enzyme are the protein, one of the special type of protein you can say, and they are having a particular function. And what their function? They involve in the catalysis. What is the catalysis? Catalysis is the bond formation or bond breakage. So how enzyme, question is this, how enzyme can perform this catalysis function? So answer is this, that enzyme is having having means enzyme or the protein that having such type of conformation or such type of, you can say, folding, means in space, so they are having a pocket in it, which we say as active site. So in the active site of that protein, that is enzyme, different substrate can bind, and then enzyme will assist for the means formation of products. So how it could happen? For example, if we are having here two different substrate, so enzyme is having active sites, so that would be the complementary to the surface of the substrate. So both the substrate would bind here, and then the enzyme would help. After different chemical reaction would takes place here, and then enzyme would release a product. So here we can see the 3D structure of an enzyme and its active site. So this is the one type of function of protein, and some protein perform means involved in motor activity. And what are this motor activity and what type of protein involved in the motor activity? Actually, the two special type of protein that are present in our muscle cell, one is the actin and one is the myosin. So these both protein help for the contraction and relaxation of our muscles. So we can contract our muscle, we can relax our muscle. So these protein actually are present in our muscles as a bundle of protein. So they can means here we can see the structure of actin and myosin and how they can work. Actually, actin will be present in the middle and the between the means as a core, and the myosin would be present over the actin. So these when myosin slide onto the actin, so actin molecule means myosin can means contract and relax. So the actin would be move inside the myosin. So that is how the muscles can means contract and relax. And now we are having one of the important type of protein, that is the signaling protein. So these protein that are involved in the signaling the hormone is one of the type of such protein, and one of the hormone is the insulin hormone. So when we talk about any particular type of protein, it would be having different subclasses. If we are saying that we are having one particular type of protein that are hormones, so there are various different type of hormones. So insulin is one of the type of a protein that is a hormone. So what is hormone? Hormone actually a type of a protein that performs signaling function in our body. So let's see here how hormone can means perform the signaling function in our body. So this is the we can see there here we are seeing the structure of hormone. So hormone, what is a hormone? Hormone is a protein. It is made up of a polypeptide chain, and it is two polypeptide chain joined via disulfide bridge. So and this is the 3D and this is the 2D structure of hormone insulin. So what happened in our body cell? This is our body cell, and what happened in the body cell? We are having receptor of hormone. Receptor is another type of protein that are present on the over the surface of the cell. So what these receptor do? This receptor help this protein, that is the insulin, that is one type of hormone, to bind with this receptor. So this hormone insulin and this insulin receptor, both these are the protein. So what happened? The insulin will bind with the insulin receptor, and then the cascade of reaction takes place inside the cell. And what happened then this insulin and insulin receptor, insulin binding with, after binding with the insulin receptor, will means help this transporter, that is GLUT4. This is the glucose transporter. So this after binding of insulin to insulin receptor, this glucose transporter allow glucose to enter inside the cell. So when the glucose molecule will enter inside the cell, so cell utilize this glucose to produce energy, during the process of biochemical reaction that we say as glycolysis. So you will be studying about this metabolic reaction, glycolysis and other metabolic reaction in the coming semester, but here you have to just keep it in your mind that how one of the particular type of protein that we call as hormone involve in performing different biological function in our body, and what is the biological importance of different type of protein. So what is the biological importance of this particular type of protein that we call as hormone? What is this protein? Because what is the biological importance of hormone? Biological importance of hormone is that hormone, insulin hormone for example, help glucose to enter inside the cell, and then this glucose utilized in our body to produce energy. So we are having another important type of protein that are the receptor protein. Here we already I have shown you that different receptor are also made up of protein. So these one of the special type of receptor are G protein coupled receptor that we say as GPCR and CRs, and epidermal growth factor receptor. So these you can see that how receptor is formed and how protein can perform the function of receptor. And what are receptor? Actually receptor are the protein that are present over the surface of the cell. So here we can see that this is the section of the cell membrane, and this is whole we say at receptor. And what is it? It is a protein. You can see here that this is a protein polypeptide chain. Here we can see different amino acid. This is methionine, glutamate, methionine, and different letters are indicating different amino acids. So what happened? This different amino acid joined together form a polypeptide chain, and how this polypeptide chain make the receptor. This polypeptide chain fold itself within the cell membrane. Cell membrane is a bilayer lipid bilayer membrane. So this polypeptide chain fold itself in three-dimensional way within this lipid bilayer in a particular conformation. And then what happened? Its N terminal would be means outside, and the C terminal would be inside, and then whole this means protein called as the receptor. Actually this is a protein, this is a particular conformation of polypeptide chain. So why we are saying that this protein is a receptor? Because what happened, this protein that is a receptor will help an endogenous molecule or exogenous molecule, means any other molecule that would be present outside of the cell, to bind with the receptor and they means transduce the signal inside the cell. So what happened? We are seeing here that this is a receptor. For example, we are also having a receptor here, G protein coupled receptor, and we are having another receptor here that is a protein that is the receptor tyrosine kinase, epidermal growth factor receptor. This is a type of receptor tyrosine kinase. So what happened when this receptor would bind with another protein or another molecule that can be endogenous, means produced in our body, or it can be exogenous. So if it will be exogenous, we say it drug. So when this receptor would bind with the drug or any other endogenous molecule that produced in our body, so what happened? Then a cascade of chemical reaction would initiate inside the cell that will lead to a biological activity. So in this particular type, what is this biological activity? This is the cell proliferation. So this is how the protein perform different function if they are present in the form of the receptor. And now their different type of protein are serve as structural function in our body. and collagen is one of the type of such protein. So actually we have already discussed collagen in my previous lecture, and here you can just keep in your mind that collagen is one of the type of the structural protein. What are these structural protein? Actually, structural protein are those protein that involve participate, or you can say that involve to make your body, you can say to make your body, or you they provide structural support in your body, or they involve for the in the formation of different parts of your body. So collagen, where you can form, actually what is the collagen? Collagen is a protein that is made up of 3 alpha helix. So we can also say it's triple helix. Collagen is a triple helical protein. And what is the helix? Helix actually is a protein secondary structure, or we can say that 3 polypeptide chain of a protein twists itself in alpha helical structure, and then these 3 alpha helix twist on each other and form this form this collagen. So where we can find this collagen, as I told you that collagen is a structural protein. So you know we are having in our body different type of cartilages. So where cartilages are formed to join 2 bones, and these are also present in your nails, in your hair, or your in your bone, so or in your connective tissues. So what function collagen are performing here? Actually they give us elasticity, or they are so much elastic because of the presence of some unusual amino acid like hydroxyproline. So they are extremely elastic proteins. So where they are present, for example, if they are present in our bone joints, so they help joints to easily bend. So this is the structural function and one of the particular type of protein, that is collagen. So now we are having another type of protein, that is globulin. So what is the globulin? Globulin is actually a transport protein, and what they transport oxygen. So one of the transport protein globulin is the hemoglobin. Globulin are actually 2 types, one is the myoglobin and one of the hemoglobin, and these 2 protein are quite similar with each other, but they perform different function. Hemoglobin is a tetrameric protein. It is having 2 alpha subunit and 2 beta subunit, and these alpha and beta subunit are joined with each other via different forces, and whole of the hemoglobin is a type of quaternary protein. So we have already understand about what is the protein quaternary structure. A quaternary structure is formed when different independent subunit join with each other. So hemoglobin protein is one of the best example of protein quaternary structure, in that 4 different independent protein subunit join each other and form a big globular protein that we say as hemoglobin. So each subunit of hemoglobin will be having a separate heme group. So this heme group, what is this heme group? This heme group is having iron atom in its center, and this iron atom is having affinity for oxygen. So what does mean by affinity? Affinity means iron is capable to make the attraction with the oxygen molecule. So this iron is having the affinity for oxygen. So due to this affinity of iron, oxygen molecule will bind with the iron or with this within this heme group, and you know this heme group will be present in the hemoglobin. So by doing so, the hemoglobin will carries oxygen in your blood and transport oxygen to different part of your body. And one thing important here, that why this hemoglobin means is a transport protein, because it can means why it is not a storage protein as myoglobin, that we would discuss in next slide. Because hemoglobin, although it is having means ability to or affinity to bind with the oxygen, but this ability or capacity of oxygen binding with hemoglobin is less as compared to the myoglobin. So myoglobin bind with I'm sorry, here should be myoglobin. So now we are talking about the myoglobin. Actually myoglobin having the capacity of binding with the oxygen, but this capacity is or affinity is extremely high. So myoglobin is somewhat structurally similar with the hemoglobin, except that myoglobin is consist on a single subunit, and this single subunit is having a one heme group that is having the iron atom, and this iron atom would be having affinity to bind with the oxygen. But the myoglobin is having high affinity to bind with the oxygen as compared to the hemoglobin. So due to this high affinity of myoglobin iron to bind with the oxygen, so myoglobin cannot easily release oxygen in different part of your body. So due to this ability of myoglobin keep store oxygen in itself. So the myoglobin and hemoglobin, these two type of protein are the transport. These two type of the protein are globulin protein. And why we are saying these globulin protein? Because these are globular in nature. So here we can say this form we can say globular in nature. So but hemoglobin transport oxygen, however myoglobin store oxygen in itself. So we are having another type of protein, that is immunoglobulin. This is also a globulin protein, but why we are saying this immunoglobulin or immunoprotein? Because it is involved in our immune function, or it is the type of a protein that is involved in the immune system, or it is an immune protein. So how it perform immune function in our body, and what is the immune function in immune system in our body? Actually immune system is a system of in our body that is made up of different type of cells and different type of a protein that perform defensive function in our body. Means whenever any pathogen would enter in our body, so what will happen, this immune system cell would fight with this immune system cell, and immune system proteins would fight with the means foreign pathogen. Or how they fight? They will bind with them and they will neutralize them. So immunoglobulin, we also say this immunoglobulin as an antibody. So what is this immunoglobulin? Actually it is a Y-shaped protein. It is consist on 4 protein polypeptide chain. 2 are the heavy chain and 2 are the light chain, and it is having one Fc region that is bind with means any cell, or one is the Fab region that is having antigen binding site. So what is an antigen? Antigen is a foreign particle, you can say, that is not means previously known to your body. So it can be any disease pathogen, or it can be any foreign particle. So whenever so what happened, how this antibody will bind with this antigen, that is the foreign particle, and will neutralize them. So you have to just keep in your mind that whenever any foreign particle will enter in your body, so what happened, this antibody have the antigen binding site that would be the complementary to this site, binding site, antigen binding site of the antibody. So what happened, this antigen, that is the foreign particle, it can be any virus, it can be any means bacteria or any foreign particle. So what happened, this antigen, this antibody would bind with the antigen, and then what happened, then what happened, then antibody would either neutralize this foreign particle. For example, we are having seeing here the we are having, if you in your body some viruses will be introduced, so what happened, virus or bacteria, so what happened, this antibody would bind with the different parts of this virus and bacteria and would neutralize them. They can agglutinate them, they can precipitate then, or they can, what happened, they can bind with the surface of the cell, and then one other protein of your immune system, that is the complement protein, would bind with this antibody, and then what happened, that it will be initiate immune system, immune response. Or what happened, the antibody can bind with any pathogen, for example bacteria or virus, and help other immune system cell, for example phagocyte, to engulf this antigen or antibody complex. So or one more function that can be performed by the antibodies, that they initiate means they initiate whenever antibody would be introduced in your, whenever antigen, any antigen or any pathogen would be enter in your body, so your body means initiate inflammation. So inflammation is the one of the type of the immune response, and it is the indication for the immune system cell to run or to migrate towards the site of injury or site of the or that site where pathogen or means foreign particle are means introduced. So these are the function, or these are the all function of one of the special type of protein, that was the antibody. Now we are talking about one of the other type of protein, that is chaperone, and we have already discussed about this chaperone in our lecture number 4. So actually, what are chaperone? Chaperone are a special type of protein, and they can also call as heat shock protein, because they means synthesize within the cell during different stress condition. So what is this stress condition? Stress condition is when your cell is not able to fold properly newly synthesized protein. So we have already discussed in my previous lecture, whenever any protein would be synthesized in your body cell, so it will get fold to perform biological function. So what happened, there are different chances that due to any reason protein could not be able to fold properly. So the misfold protein would be captured by this one special type of protein that we call as chaperone. And this chaperone, what does they do? They help this misfold or unfolded protein to fold properly. So this is the function of the chaperone. And now you are having in your cell one of different type of protein, they can regulate your gene. So lac repressor is one of the particular type of protein that can regulate your gene. So what is gene? Actually gene is the sequence of means nucleotide that is having some particular information, that particular information means needed to perform, for example, important function in your body, or important to synthesize any important protein in your body. So for example, we are having here one of the gene sequence that is encoding one of the particular type of protein that is one of the particular type of protein, that is lac repressor protein. So here we can see that this protein sequence, this gene sequence is having a particular nucleotide sequence, that is leg gene. So when this leg gene would transcribe into messenger RNA, then it will translate into one of the particular type of protein, that is the leg repressor protein. It is a repressor protein, as it is indicated from its name that it is a repressor protein, so it will be involved to repress the function of the gene. So we are having gene, this is the gene that is having different this is our DNA sequences that is having different type of gene, and all these gene have to translate into particular type of protein. For example, we are having leg gene, leg Y, leg Z gene, leg Y gene, leg A gene. So we are having on this nucleotide DNA sequence, or on this piece of DNA different type of gene that have to be transcribed first into different messenger RNA, and then the different messenger RNA would be translated into the particular type of protein. For example, if we are having like Z gene here, so first it will come transcribe into messenger RNA, that will be like Z messenger RNA, and then like Z messenger RNA would run on the ribosome and will synthesize like Z protein. So by doing so, all these gene correspondingly means transcribed into their corresponding messenger RNA and then corresponding protein. So what happened, this gene is also having particular sequences for leg repressor protein. So what happened this, first of all we have to understand how these gene would transcribe, means like Z gene, like Y and like A gene would transcribe. So excuse me, so I'm sorry. So what happened, then we are having RNA polymerase, and this is an enzyme that help for the transcription. So I'm sorry. So how the RNA polymerase would transcribe means these gene into messenger RNA. RNA polymerase would run over this gene and then convert this gene into transcribe to this gene into messenger RNA. So what happened before means running this polymerase onto this means DNA sequence, what happened, first leg gene would transcribe into messenger RNA, and then messenger RNA would translate into the leg repressor protein, and then leg repressor protein would bind with the promoter region that would be present before this leg Z gene. Promoter is the particular DNA sequences that are regulatory sequences on that any protein can bind and inhibit or induce the gene, subsequent gene. So what happened, this leg repressor protein would bind with the promoter and inhibit the running of this RNA polymerase over this gene. So when this RNA polymerase would not be run over this gene, so it could not be able to synthesize the messenger RNA, and then messenger RNA would not be able to synthesize the protein or unable to do the translation. So this is how the different protein can inhibit this is how different protein in our body can regulate gene or involve in the regulation of gene. So now we are having a particular type of protein, that is the conjugated protein. So they can be glycoprotein or lipoprotein. So what are glycoprotein? Actually different protein are found on over the surface of the cell, over the cell membrane. So these protein can having the ability to conjugate with different other biological molecule that are present in our cell or in our body. For example, the one particular type of a protein that are present on the cell surface over the cell membrane or found to be embedded in the cell membrane in such a way there's some portion of the polypeptide chain exposed outside of the cell membrane. So what happened then, the different carbohydrate molecules can conjugate with them, or can make bonds with them. So the final type of protein that we would be having, we say that it is a glycoprotein. So what is a glycoprotein? Actually, the glycoprotein is the combination of the protein with glucose molecule. So and why this glycoprotein is important? Because glycoprotein means act as receptor for different pathogens or for different other molecules in the body. So what happened then, this glycoprotein can be recognized by different other molecule in our body, and then can initiate different signaling mechanism. And one important example of glycoprotein, some of the viruses can enter in our cell after binding some special type of glycoprotein that are present as in the form of receptor on the cell surface. So these glycoprotein help to bind with different pathogens, and they involve they help for the different pathogen to enter inside the cell. So one other type of conjugated protein is the lipoprotein, and what is name is indicating that lipoprotein means lipo means lipid and protein means protein. So it means that there is a combination of lipid with the protein. So these lipoprotein actually is a combination of the one of the lipid with the protein that we say as lipoprotein. There are different type of lipoprotein. One is the HDL, one is the LDL. So LDL is one of that type of lipoprotein that is not good for our body, and it is, we say this low density lipoprotein. And what does this lipoprotein do? Actually, this lipoprotein, this is a particular type of protein that we say the lipoprotein. This protein bind with the lipid or the cholesterol that is present in our body, and transport this cholesterol in our body to other type of the body organ. So here we are having one more important type of protein, that is the nucleoprotein. And where this nucleoprotein exists in our body cell, it is as the name is implies that this nucleoprotein is present within the nucleus of our cell. So there are different type of nucleoprotein, and why we are saying this the nucleoprotein, because it is found to present in our nucleus. And then a ribosome is one of the type of ribozyme as an enzyme. It is also one of the type of the nucleoprotein. So and these nucleoprotein found to bound with either the DNA or RNA. We are saying this nucleoprotein because they are found to bind, they found to present in the nucleus, or found to bound with gene either with DNA or the RNA. So now we would be these all are the biological, we can say these are the all diverse function of protein, and these function are indicating how protein are biologically important for our body. Now we would be studying that why different type of protein are important in pharmaceutics, or what are the pharmaceutical importance of protein. So what is the pharmaceuticals? Actually all those type of the we can say drugs, or we can say all those type of biological molecules that can be used for the treatment of drug. So we say them as a pharmaceutical. Or so many type of a protein can be used as drugs. So one of the main important type of protein that are being using as drug is the insulin. So here we are seeing the structure of the insulin. This is the 2D structure of insulin. And insulin is a particular type of a protein, and it is used for the to control diabetes. So we have already discussed in previous slide how insulin bind with the insulin receptor and allow glucose to enter inside the body cell, and then how this glucose used to produce energy. But what happened, this insulin naturally produced in our body and help our body cell to utilize glucose. But what happened when insulin get deficient in our body, so we need to have them from outside of our body. So we have now synthesized via genetic engineering method, recombinant insulin that is now clinically available. And this insulin injection used to overcome the deficiency of insulin, and the deficiency of insulin, it lead to the diabetes. So another important type of protein that is used in various is being using in various type of disease is the glutathione. So actually, what is the glutathione? Glutathione is a protein. It is a triapeptide. It is made up of 3 amino acid, that is glutamine, glutamate, cysteine and glycine. And it can be used for the treatment of cancer, and as a chemotherapy adjuvant, and for the lung disease, for the memory loss. It is actually antioxidant protein, means it is a protein that is ability to scavenge the free radicals and to combat with the oxidative stress. So these are the all the pharmaceutical importance of protein, and the biological and the other journal function of protein. And in summary, we see that protein can perform diverse function in our body, and due to its diversity, protein various pharmaceuticals have been developed that can be used to treat different type of a disease that lead in our body due to the misregulation of the protein function, or due to the due to the you can say due to the unfolding protein, or due to the malfunction of the protein. So I hope you have understand all the about the proteins. So till now we have completed all the lecture about the protein. So these were the from the we start talking about the amino acid, then we talk about the polypeptide chain, and then we talk about the different structure of the protein, then folding protein, and then we talk about the protein different function, and then we talk about protein function, and then form different pharmaceuticals that are made that are based on the proteins. So I hope you like this lecture, and now from the next week we would be going to start another topic, and that might be the enzyme. So thank you very much for your kind attention, and Allah Hafiz.